What is going on, everyone? We got some great headlines for you today. Latest update on the Ripple versus SEC case just came out an hour ago. A little bit of XRP escrow theory from a Ripple executive himself, and much, much more, including the government proposing going back to the gold standard while inflation is getting out of control. Make sure everyone do smash the likes and subscribe down below. Helps out the channel immensely. And maybe leave an obligatory supportive comment. Let's go ahead and get into the headlines of today. Forgot to mention this, but also Ripple Europe expansion. So check this out right here. Judge Torres, over the SEC's objection, grants iRemits and TapJet's request to file an amicus brief in support of Ripple. As you guys know, the SEC does not like the amicus briefs. They tried to remove John Deaton and the 70,000+ XRP holders from the case. They tried to remove the Chamber Digital Commerce amicus briefs, and then also had a motion to dismiss the iRemit and TapJet's amicus brief. They do not like people chiming into the case and helping out Ripple and giving them the leading edge. The court has reviewed the request by iRemit Inc. and TapJets Incorporated for leave to file an amicus curiae brief dated September 30th, 2022, and the parties' letters dated October 4th, 2022 and October 5th, 2022. Accordingly, the requests are granted. By October 14th, 2022, iRemit and TapJets Inc. shall file their briefs. Amici are reminded that their briefs must comply with the requirements set forth in Section 3D of the court's individual practices in civil cases. The clerk of court is directed to terminate the motions at ECF number 653656, so ordered by Judge Torres. Coming in with a big win again in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. Yeah, the SEC, they just hate it. They just hate it. How you now have four entities backing up Ripple in the lawsuit. You got John Deaton, 70,000 XP holders, Chamber Digital Commerce, TapJets, iRemit. The SEC has objected to every single one of those amicus briefs. And then the judge overrules their objection. And recently, the judge also overruled the Hinman emails objection. SEC's going, no, you can't release the Hinman documents. This is not fair. This is deliberative process privilege, attorney-client privilege. Denied. Looking forward to those Hinman emails. We may never see them due to an early settlement or an early surrender by the SEC, but nonetheless, the judge is on our side. Why? Because Ripple doesn't argue with the judge. We don't fight with the judge and tell them that she's wrong and answer in very, very disrespectful one-line responses like the SEC. It seems Judge Torres isn't giving the SEC any free lunches here. Because the SEC, what do they love? Ooh, a free pass. They love that shit, right? Judge Annalisa Torres grants leave to iRemit and TapJets to file amicus brief in SEC versus Ripple. Little quick side note, does anyone else love that every single day on Twitter, both Ripple, XRP, or XRP Army are always trending on Twitter? Because we are crazy out there, constantly tweeting about this amazing technology and disruptive actions being taken place by Ripple and the XRP ledger. It's great to see that every single day, Ripple XRP is trending. And here we got a statement from former Ripple executive Dilip Rao, who is now actually in charge and is in lead of the current Australia CBDC project, which that project, they are testing it on Ethereum, but, Dilip Rao, I think he's going to run it in the right direction and get Australia to be having their CBDC over on the XRP ledger. Here's a little statement by him, because the Ripple XRP escrow has always been a very big topic of speculation. And here's something from a Ripple executive, right? Ultimately, all of that escrowed XRP will be owned by institutions for Nostro replacement as a bridge currency or potentially for other use cases. This sounds like something he probably shouldn't have said publicly. But guys, the escrow theory is a real thing because that is a big war chest of liquidity sitting there. And I imagine there's probably already some pre-allocation in discussion at the current moment. It's just crazy to hear from a former Ripple executive who, again, is now leading an Australia CBDC project. Like, look it up. He is literally the leader of that project. And yeah, they're testing on Ethereum. He'll lead them in the right direction, make sure they go on to XRPL. But yeah, dude, the XRP escrow must have the eyes of all the institutions Ripple is working with. And guess what? The breaking news today is not just the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. Check this out. Breaking, Ripple has partnered with Lemonway and XBAT to leverage its on-demand liquidity solution to offer crypto payments across Europe. Yeah, this is they're using Xcurrent or using XVIA. No. Any Ripple announcement that has come out recently has always been ODL. Xcurrent, XVIA has never been mentioned by Ripple executives for the last like 2-3 years. X-Current and that whole, oh, we're just gonna, use the messaging system and not the XRP, that's out of the window. They're going full on XRP rollout right now, okay? And again, XBAT, that name right there, bot, bat, I don't know how you say it, but that is like the Thailand currency right there. Okay? Ripple continues European expansion, bringing the benefits of on-demand liquidity to France and Sweden. Today, Ripple, the leader in enterprise blockchain and crypto solutions, announced its first on-demand liquidity customer in France as it joins forces with Lemonway, a Paris-based payment provider for online marketplaces. The new partnership sees Lemonway using RippleNet's on-demand liquidity, which leverages our very own, that we own a shit ton of, XRP for crypto-enabled payments, to enhance its treasury payments processes. Ripple's new partnership with Lemonway comes at a time when France has been showing itself be forward-thinking when it comes to embracing the potential of crypto technology. And partnering with Ripple, Lemonway is able to drive operational efficiencies by eliminating the need for Lemonway to pre-fund accounts abroad, giving them the opportunity to use previously tapped pre-funded capital to grow and scale their business. Ripple has also announced a second new on-demand liquidity customer. It's first in Sweden. Swedish money transfer provider XBAT enables money to movement between Sweden and Thailand. See, there we go. The BAT is the Thailand's currency, but the company is based in Sweden. That's a very, very interesting niche right there. To be a Swedish company, but you are targeting sort of a exotic corridor for your customer base. That's the thing. Like when you start a business, all I've known if you do like drop shipping, print on demand, or just start an outright business, you want to focus in on a niche. Like you can't just sell everything. You can't just be offering everything. Then who's going to come to you? A lot of people offer everything, like Amazon, eBay, PayPal. A lot of people offer everything, right? But if you narrow down into one niche and focus on one market, that's where you can see success. So yeah, Swedish money transfer provider XBAT enables money movements between Sweden and Thailand. And again, from Thailand to Sweden, not that much liquidity there. I guarantee if I pull up like the Swedish krone to the Thailand baht, I guarantee you there's barely any liquidity there, which means people sending money from Thailand and Sweden and vice versa are getting screwed by the spreads. Hence, why you need XRP. XBAT's new partnership with Ripple sees the company offering instant and cost-effective retail remittances via on-demand liquidity supported by Tranglo, the cross-border payment hub based in Singapore. And correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but didn't I just read recently that Tranglo is like owned by Ripple now, or majority ownership by Ripple? Together, Ripple and its new customers will make it easier than ever for consumers and businesses in France and Sweden to make real-time payments across borders powered by Ripple's financial technology, RippleNet. Changing the world, beating Swift, every transaction, one transaction at a time. So this is Cindy Young, Managing Director, Europe Ripple. We are delighted to be working with Lemonway and XBAT, our first ODL customers in France and Sweden, respectively. Again, global ODL rollout. Since our inception 10 years ago, Ripple has focused on using blockchain and crypto to build real use cases. This is why we have become the partner of choice for enterprises such as Lemonway and XBAT looking to tap into global crypto liquidity to eliminate the traditional problems associated with cross-border payments, such as lack of speed, unreliability, and excessive cost. And, when the money gets sent out, nobody knows where it is. That's a big problem. Speaking of sending the money out and not knowing where it is, yeah, get a load of these jerk-offs over at Swift. They recently changed their Twitter bio to say, "We're on a mission to make international transactions instant, frictionless, and interoperable." Well, you've been in business 55 plus years. I think you'd probably find the solution already, but you haven't. But you're pretending like you did. Little bit of info for you doomers out there. Ripple partner Bank of America, who's on the RippleNet steering committee, predicts U.S. economy will soon start losing 175,000 jobs per month as the Fed is raising rates, inflation goes to record levels, and it's recession time. This is where it really starts to get crazy. Breaking, U.S. Congressman introduces gold standard bill as inflation spirals out of control. The bill calls for repegging of the Federal Reserve note to gold in order to address runaway federal debt, monetary system instability, and inflation. Over from Zero Hedge, who was banned on Twitter at one point. So America's currency would regain stable footing for the first time in half a century if a bill is just introduced by U.S. Representative Alex Mooney, a Republican for WV. What's that? Wyoming? Sorry, guys, I honestly don't know. Referred to as the Gold Standard Restoration Act by sound money activists. HR 9157 calls for the repegging of the Federal Reserve note to gold in order to address the ongoing problems of inflation, runaway federal debt, and monetary system instability. Upon passage of H.R. 9157, the U.S. Treasury and the Federal Reserve would have 30 months to publicly disclose all gold holdings and gold transactions, after which time the Federal Reserve note, dollar, would be pegged to a fixed weight of gold at its then market price. Federal Reserve notes would become fully redeemable for and exchangeable with gold at a new fixed price, with the U.S. Treasury and its gold reserves backstopping Federal Reserve banks as a guarantor. Rhett Mooney said in a statement, the gold standard would protect against Washington's irresponsible spending habits and the creation of money out of thin air. Prices would be shaped by economics rather than the instincts of bureaucrats. No longer would our economy be at the mercy of the Federal Reserve and reckless Washington spenders. That's the key there. Reckless Washington spenders. Do you think so many people would be trying to dodge taxes and, use tax loopholes if it wasn't like the money wasn't being spent so haphazardly on dumb things? Could you imagine at how many Americans would actually be proud to pay taxes if we had a solid leader and the money actually went towards good things? That's the thing, man. They all stuff their pockets and they get money into overseas bank accounts. The Gold Standard Restoration Act also makes several findings as to the harm the Federal Reserve System has inflicted on everyday Americans, particularly since President Richard Nixon. And Richard Nixon was the whole guy with Watergate. That corrupt motherfucker is the one who got us off the gold standard in the first place. Yeah, so since President Richard Nixon temporarily suspended gold backing of America's monetary system in 1971. H.R. 9157 points out the following. The Federal Reserve note has lost more than 30% of its purchasing power since 2000. Wow. And 97% of its purchasing power since the passage of the Federal Reserve Act in 1913. Economists have observed the elimination of gold redeemability from the monetary system, freed central bankers and federal government officials from accountability. That's a strong one there. When they irresponsibly expand the money supply, fund government deficits through trillion-dollar bond purchases, or otherwise manipulate the economy. At times, including in 2021, 2022, we're almost on 2023, god dang, Federal Reserve actions helped create inflation rates of 8% or higher, increasing the cost of living for many Americans to untenable levels, enriching the owners of financial assets while endangering the jobs, wages, and savings of blue-collar workers. Notably, Rhett Mooney's bill would also require full disclosure of all central bank and U.S. government gold holdings, which probably already sold all that off, and gold-related financial transactions over the last 6 decades, a seemingly taboo subject surrounded by mystery and deception. Wasn't it like when they actually, the whole thing with Fort Knox is they only tested one gold bar in Fort Knox? There's something like that. No one's ever seen the inside of Fort Knox, and one time they had some huge public television, oh, we're going to test a gold bar, and they brought out one gold bar. That was it. I mean, it was a huge one, but still, it's just one. Furthermore, H.R. 9157 requires the Fed and Treasury to disclose all records pertaining to redemptions and transfers of United States gold in the 10 years preceding the temporary suspension in August 15th, 1971 of gold redeemability obligations. Today's debt-based fiat money system serves primarily to support big government and wealthy financial insiders, while the Federal Reserve's serial policy of currency debasement punishes savers and wage earners as it undermines the economy, explained Stephen Gleason, president of Sound Money Defense League and Money Metals Exchange. Quote, a return to gold redeemability would arrest the problem of inflation, restrain the growth of a wasteful and inefficient government, and kick off an exciting new era of American prosperity. That's making me feel patriotic right there. Anyways, guys, want more of the news? You won't get anywhere else. I do not want to drain my email with more spam. Thank you very much, Zero Hedge. And a little XRP price chart update for you guys in the 1 hour chart. We did suffer, a pullback. It was necessary, had to happen. XRP doubled in basically 2 weeks. So look, pullback's got to happen. I understand it. The sellers brought us all the way down to 47.6 cents. And what did XRP do? Immediately rebounded to 50, claiming that spot, sent it back down to 48, and back to 50 again, then now back to 49. XRP is clearly loving the 50-cent level. If you want to keep zooming out here, for some more perspective, there's the 4 hour chart for you guys there. It's honestly it's not looking bad. Clearly, this was a supply zone. This is when sellers were going to start kicking in and getting all trigger happy. It's understandable, but we're going to bounce back from it because, look, we do have a little bit of a 4 hour chart ascending triangle on our hands here with this bottom trend line right there. If you want to get it super perfect in OCD, maybe if we adjust to the wicks there. pretty much got ourselves a little ascending triangle, which could very easily lead to the 65-cent breakout that should be happening maybe this weekend or next week. For more perspective, got to get to the daily chart. Always got to zoom up the time frames for perspective. Look at how this whole choppy, I'm not sure if I want to dump moment during the whole Terra Luna fiasco. Look at how XRP is now kind of essentially dominated that level in a way, using it as a support to bounce back even higher. Looking pretty good. And then for the final breath of fresh air in the video, we got to look at the Bitstamp weekly chart to know where we are in things. We're looking fine, guys. Honestly, in my, 5 years investing in cryptocurrency, or 5 years only investing in XRP, this is just that mid-pump vol. It's just that mid-pump activity. Oh, we're going up, little down. Oh, big up, oh, little down. It's that mid-pump activity I have seen time and time again. And for the final breath of fresh air to close off today's video, there is all of the XRP price action that has ever happened in monthly increments. Just do understand, we are going to have prosperity. We are going to enter price discovery. Just keep holding your XRP. Don't capitulate. Keep stacking. Guys, smash the like, subscribe, post notifications, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.